Hello, my beautiful travel mates. Welcome back for another check-in on the Joy in the Journey Challenge. If you're new to the challenge, I'm Holly, and we are in check-in 22 of this strange and interesting journey together. At least it's been strange and interesting for me. I don't know how it's been for you. I hope it's been exciting at the very least. I hope it's been joyful. And I hope that you found something to celebrate last week. We need to celebrate all of the little victories, no matter how small. And I was celebrating my victory last week because I had a creative breakthrough. I talked about it in the previous check-in, but I definitely moved through some blocks. I reawakened my creative energy. And I was very pleased with that. It felt really good, and I was celebrating. Even though you can't tell it in the video, I was kind of tired at the time, but I was celebrating on the inside. Just gonna have to trust me on that one. So what are you celebrating? What are your victories? Also, noticing if you maybe are in a rut, and remember, there are ways to get out of that. There are ways to shake things up. Zizu, of course, he's joining us, and to get out of a rut. So that's actually something I want to talk about. I'm going to tell you about my painting in a minute, but this has been something that's been on my mind recently, kind of thinking about routines and when we're living life on autopilot. So I definitely have a very important place for routines in my life. For example, my morning routine is sacred to me. I've talked about that in a previous video. Maybe I can link it up there now that I know how to do cards on YouTube. Or maybe it's this side, I don't know. And I think routines are great for a lot of reasons. They give us a sense of stability and they promote consistency. But there's also the risk of getting too locked into a routine and having that routine or collection of routines turn into a rut. And if we get into a rut, and maybe you can relate to this, I know there have definitely been periods in my life when I have been sort of just going through the motions and not really awake in my life. Kind of like being on autopilot. Have you ever felt like this? Like you're doing the things that need to get done. Your life makes sense, but maybe you're not really enjoying the day-to-day, or maybe you're just bored. Bored with seeing the same old things and doing the same old things day in and day out. So that can be dangerous territory. That's when we often get ourselves into trouble. And also we're just missing out on a lot of the joy that life has to offer, right? Like I've always believed in the saying, variety is the spice of life. And there are so many ways to embrace variety and just all of the richness that life has to offer. But we can become blind to these things when we get stuck in a rut. And I can say this because I'm speaking from experience. So I owe part of my creative breakthrough to stepping outside of my routines, to do that simple thing of staying up late to work on my painting. Even though I sacrifice sleep for it, and I apologize for the lighting. Once again, I'm battling the afternoon light. Even though I sacrificed sleep to do that, I actually came out of it feeling more energized and just more awake and alive in my life, which obviously is part of the reason why my creative energy is able to flow better now. I think that when we step outside of our routines and shake things up, just simple things like taking a different route home from work, or walking a different way through campus to get to class. Those kinds of things can, provide us with different stimuli which can you hear Zizu purring? He's purring kind of loud right now. It's adorable. Oh my God, you're so cute. I wish you could see his face. Right, so different stimuli, different input, to remind us, like I said, of sort of just like the richness and variety of life and the world, and just to stimulate new ideas, new approaches, new thoughts, new actions. Okay, so those are my thoughts on routine and shaking it up. And sometimes even just like listening to a different kind of music can do the trick. Sometimes I get into musical ruts where I listen to the same things over and over again. I was shaking it up with my music recently by going back in time. Do you see this? Going back in time, doing total like throwback here and listening to some like old alternative rock. And it's been great. I've really enjoyed listening to that as I've been working on my painting. I've got a playlist on Spotify. Actually, it's right here on my computer. I can tell you some of the stuff that's on it. I've got some Third Eye Blind, some, what else? Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Red Hot Chili Peppers, No Doubt. What else? Radiohead, Audioslave. Oh my goodness. The song Like a Stone by Audioslave, it's like my rediscovery that I've fallen in love with. Such a good song. Goodness gracious. Go listen to it now if you haven't heard it in a while or if you don't know it. Foo Fighters, so good. Everlong, love that song. It's been a longtime favorite of mine. So anyway, sometimes it's it can shake things up to even go back to something familiar that you haven't listened to in a while. You get the idea. So that's that. Okay, now about the painting. I'll tell you a few of the changes that I've made. We're getting some of the afternoon glare here. Maybe, what happens if I bring it closer? I did add, interference. I added just a few little touches that are barely noticeable, but actually they made a big difference. Like when I added them, the kind of before and after was pretty shocking. Whoop. For example, the little glimmer in the eyes, that just teeny little dot of white paint totally brought this painting to life. Some of the details on the butterflies, I think, made a difference. I also sort of toned down the bridge of the nose. This area here, it was looking very harsh and like a stark contrast, too dark. So I toned that down with a lighter wash. And yeah, overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. Like I said, it was super fun to do. That was the most important part. And I have a finished piece now. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it. So if anyone wants it, just let me know. If you want some creepy art in your home. That's a long shot. Maybe I'll put it on my Etsy shop. I don't know. I can't think of anyone wanting to buy this. But who knows? People like weird stuff, including myself. So maybe. I have a link to my Etsy shop on the description of most of these videos if you want to check it out. Just know it's very much a work in progress. I've added a few things, but I have a long way to go still. Trying to unload some of my work from college that just needs a home. It's been living under my bed and in closets, and artwork is meant to be out in the world, even the not so good stuff. So if you want any artwork for your home, check out my Etsy shop. I did not mean to make that a plug for myself. I really don't care. You don't need to look at it. Okay, so moving on, the painting. I think it's done. Sometimes it's hard to know when to call it finished, but I feel like this is a good stopping point. So what next? Maybe you're wondering. I have a lot of ideas. I'm not sure which one I want to pursue first. I see two different routes I could take. I could go like the sort of easier route and paint one of the photos that I've taken that I like. I have a bunch of photos on Instagram that I think would look cool as paintings. So that could be nice. But then the other option is to take one of my more like conceptual ideas and put it together into a composition and make it into a painting. That would be a lot more challenging, but you know what? I think that's the more important piece to make. So I'm leaning towards that. I'm gonna think it over a little bit more. I need to like do some sketching to sort of map out what that might look like, but we'll see. Come back next time and I'll have some news on that, on which painting I will be doing next. In other news, what else can I tell you? Painting, sketches. Did I show you my sketches? Yeah, I don't think I did. Sorry, I recorded a video earlier and then my phone like froze, so I lost it. So anyway, I don't think I showed you the sketches yet in this video. I went to the botanical gardens and just by myself and with my sketchbook, which I have never actually done. It was really fun. Hang on, sorry, I'm gonna remove you. Sorry, buddy. I'll be with you in a little bit, okay? Getting close to dinner time for the cats. Anyway, so, there we go. So I sketched this cactus. I love cacti, especially the big kinds, like this guy. That was fun. And then I did a few roses. And I don't know why I never thought to take my sketchbook there before. But hey, better late than never, right? And this way a little more. So, keeping up my skills. Are you still practicing your skills? Are you keeping up with your foundation of whatever practice or project you're using this for? I was working on my painting a lot last week, so I hadn't been sketching. So it felt really good just to get back to sketching and, you know, work that muscle and keep that alive and strong in my practice. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. Let me check my list. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. So let me know how your project is going, how your journey is going. Let me know how you're shaking things up and enjoying some variety and some new stimuli. If you have any ideas for me, I would love to hear them. You can leave me comments or send me a message. And if you want to listen to my Spotify playlist, you can follow me on Spotify, HU Schneider-ES. Yeah, okay. So I'll leave it at that. So happy travels to you. May the force be with you, and bye for now.